also. That will help you because
Sir,
how they are. Huh?
కంపేర్ టు నెట్ సెట్ పేపర్ డెప్త్ ఎక్కువ ఉంటుందా సార్, నెట్ పేపర్ ఉంటుందా?
నెట్ ఎక్కువ ఉంటుందండి.
మొన్న నెట్ అయితే
నెట్
చాలా డెప్త్ గా సబ్జెక్ట్ అడిగాడు అండ్
అదే అదే
బోర్డ్.
అవును, చాలా మంది అన్నారు. అంటే నెట్ యూజువల్లీ నేషనల్ వైడ్ కదా. సెట్ ఇట్స్ ఓన్లీ స్టేట్ లెవెల్ కదా.
అవును. బట్ బాగుంది సార్, మొన్న పేపర్ చాలా బాగుంది. మొత్తం ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్ రిట్రీవల్ నుంచి మాక్సిమం క్వశ్చన్స్ వచ్చినాయి.
That's what,
డిజిటల్.
see, they may ask anywhere in our subject, which is they are given in the కరికులా. అంటే కరికులంలో ఇచ్చాడు కదా, ఆ కరికులం నుంచి ఎక్కడైనా అడిగేటందుకు ఆస్కారం ఉంటుంది. బట్ మీరు అంటే లేటెస్ట్ టెక్నాలజీని ఎక్కువ అడాప్ట్ చేసుకునే ప్రయత్నం చేయాలి. చేస్తే దాంట్లో సక్సెస్ అయ్యడానికి ఆస్కారం ఉంటుంది.
అవును సార్, రిలేటెడ్ గా ఆ క్వశ్చన్స్, డిజిటల్ కంటెంట్ క్వశ్చన్స్ ఎక్కువగా అడిగారు.
Okay, chalo. We'll start the today class based on the research in library and information science. Yesterday we discussed about the developed countries, USA and UK, how their particular education institutions, which institution is offering postgraduate, PhD in library science, and the organizations which are IFLA and FID, how they are helping to the research scholars, and simultaneously the associations, American Library Associations and the UK LA Library Association, how they are helping to the researcher for in the way of funding, in the way of on the providing committee on research development, committee on research circle, like that. They are giving the guidance, they are giving the supervisorship, they are giving the various ways they are giving the ideas for the development of library and information science in developed countries. And what about India? Today we are going to discuss about the India. That the growth of library and information science is possible only through the research process. I think you take any growth of the any subject you take either in library science, management, health science, biological science, whatever it may be. Every discipline is based on the growth is based on the research and development, or we can say that discovering some fact, discovering some new answer to the questions. We can say that investigation to the find out the some investigations, or in invention of these new things, or we can say that in a solution of the problems which we need, which needs to the users of this society, or we can say that users oriental way. It may be a national level, it may be international level, it may be a state level, whatever it may be. That's intention of the aims and objectives of any subject research and development for the growth and development of this area. Uh, in the field of library and information science, you may consider in India, you have to think over on that. The first person is Dr. S.R. Ranganathan. He developed a lot uh, in the discipline of library information science. He's contributing library science during the 1950 to 1970s. Particularly, his period is pioneering period. We can say that is number of writings. We can say that voluminous writings of S.R. Ranganathan. Almost all aspects of librarianship. You take example of the classification. You take example of the cataloging, management, documentation, retrieval system, and the impact of ICT. And his original ideas are played important role to innovate the new subject in the field of library and information science. See, these the person, for he served a lot for the field of library and information science. Based on that, the government of India recognized his services, and finally, in the year of 1962 or 65, exactly year I did not get an idea, he got the Padma Shri award from the government of India. Isn't it just like that much of services he rendered for the library and information science for in India? And what about the LIS education in India? We can say that in view of Dr. S.R. Ranganathan writings, I said he wrote around 60 books, and 200 peoples in India are world map professional on the librarianship. That articles which is belongs to the, I said, library metrics earlier, earlier class in librometrics, in classification, cataloging, semantic classification, canons of classification, canons of idea, verbal plane, notational plane, various things he concentrated. He produced many research and development papers in the various national level, state level, international level, in the area of library science. He wrote 1,200 articles, means that imagine how much of work he done for the library science. And he contributed 60 books in the field of library science. He wrote on reference services, documentation, management, classification, cataloging, retrieval system, library society, library management, many things he served in many areas. He served for the development of library science profession in India. Usually, as per the PB Mangla, the statements which is given, which area research is required, which area they supposed to do. Here they mention, many institutions, those who are working as a library professionals, librarians, assistant librarians, or those who are serving for that particular research institutions. What he is telling that, increasing the emphasis of the research qualification. By the research qualification, he will get the higher positions, because if you have a PhD degree, you will get a higher position in that particular field. And gradually the role of librarian and information is, socially, economically, and we can say that, which institution, research and development institutions, or industrial growth and all those things, they will recognize you as you are a doctorate. They will respect you as you are a doctorate. You will provide you the information which is belongs to the standardized information. Why? Because you have a standard certificate, that we can say research and development or PhD degree holder. And that, even IT tools, sometimes we have to adapt the IT tools with providing the information services. And the information technology, you have to adapt it. And interdisciplinary research also, it is mandatory to do in the field of library science. It's impact on linguistics, mathematics, and sociology, psychology, and computer science. Why? Because you take up the computer science. I said, just a few minutes before, I said regarding the library, machine learning, and web science technology, we can say that, webology, we can say that web 2.0, web 3.0, library 2.0, library 3.0, and cloud computing, and blockchain technology. These all are belongs to the computer science, though it is impacted on the library and information science. That's what this library information science and computer science programs are interrelated. That you may, and you can do the research in the field of computer science also. It is interdisciplinary. And library and linguistics also, mathematics also, how mathematics are will helping to the interdisciplinary to the library science. Means yesterday we discussed about the metrics, the bibliometrics, the scienceometrics, the metrics where citation, and all those things, they are considered under the mathematics only. Isn't it just like that? These need we need for LIS research in India. History of LIS research in India means, earlier, just like we can say that, uh, 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 as we can say that 1895 USA, 1860s UK, just like that, in India, the LIS education which starts from the 1910, we can say that. And before that, the wheat loan scheme of USA, under PL 480, have given a, facelift for the profession and professional community, for the recognition among the academic community. Because before that, the library science profession means, very meager number of people, they knows the professions. It is having a profession for the libraries and all those things. Before, what they feel that, library science profession itself, libraries, is a watchman for the libraries, he's a, like, just a standing in front of the library. There is a storekeeper like that. But after the wheat loan scheme of USA, PL 480, they said that they given some facelift for the recognition of the profession and professional development in the field of library science. Later, in the year of 1910, Alan Borden in the Baroda state, we can say that Alan Border and Dickinson in Punjab University. We are invited those two people for the development of LIS education in India, especially in 1910. The Baroda Shiaji Rao Gaikwad too. He served a lot for the education and simultaneously libraries in India. He started the first post library schools in India from the Baroda states. Which was around 40 years now, more than 80 to 100 departments library science are offering in many universities. We can say that still it is functioning as a graduation post graduation courses, and many universities are offering even PhD also. However, library science research on scientific basis had begun with the 1920s only. Collection development, we can say collection of the books, reading material, and application of the classification, application of the cataloging. That means a systematic manner which is organized, systematic manner which is with application of the new scientific tools, new scientific techniques in the era of 1920 only. So from that day onwards, and library science profession itself is a profession in India. And Ranganathan, he was the already we discussed about the Ranganathan. He is the driving force behind of this particular profession upliftment, profession enlightenment. He is the driving force. We can say that. He is the chairperson for the FIDCR. FIDCR means yesterday we discussed about the Federation of International Information Documentation Center classification research group. That we can say that he is the chairman for the 1950s to 1960s. So his idea of classification and cataloging, and we can say that bibliography and the reference. These are the core material, core curriculum for the research in the different library schools in India, all over the all over the nation. We can say that many especially in the southern states enacted the library legislation, the reference services just I spoke to you, and various terminology and research along with the library, academic community, and the public libraries and the research schemes, and all those things. He under his period only it was enlightened, and he started. I said you regarding normative principles. We can say that classification, prolegomena of library classification in the year of 1937. He started only colony classification in the year of 1933. Later, the classification, fifth edition, sixth edition, which is edited by the DRTC, Documentation Research Training Center for Sharda Ranganathan Endowment Series. Just like that, many additions was appeared in the field of colon classification and cataloging. 1934, he started the classified catalog code, and later 1938 he introduced the chain indexing system. That we can say that in the chain procedure system. This was applied up to 1971. British National Bibliography till the precis was invented. Up to 1971, the chain procedure, we can say that chain indexing system was used for that. And the canons of cataloging and classified code in the year of 1964. Just like that, in the field of cataloging, how many new edition, how many cataloging books were, principles were introduced from his able scholarship, and also documentation, usage, and reference services. We can say that reference service is the first person. He is introduced in the year of 1930s, and he published and popularized in the year of 1940. Uh, and we can say that here, reference services, it is okay. We can say that documentation. What is the meaning of documentation? Do you have any idea about that? డాక్యుమెంటేషన్ అంటే ఏమైనా ఐడియా ఉందమ్మా? డాక్యుమెంటేషన్ ఎవరైనా చెప్పొచ్చు, నో ప్రాబ్లం.
It is a group of information
నాకు వినపట్లే, కాదు
in
గట్టిగా
the
చెప్పాలి.
document.
మై వాయిస్ ఇస్ క్లియర్ నో?
Yes, sir, clear
Documentation
only.
is nothing but
Made the clear information to the statements.
ఏంటమ్మా,
maybe it
కెన్ యూ
is
సే వన్స్, కెన్ యూ సే వన్స్ అగైన్?
evidence, sir.
Clear గా ఉన్న ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్ ని స్టేట్మెంట్ రూపంలో చేయడం సార్.
ఇంకా
అంటే ఎవిడెన్స్ అంటే ఒకటి ఎవిడెన్స్ లాగా డాక్యుమెంటేషన్ అంటే ఎవిడెన్స్ అని అనుకుంటున్నాను సార్.
ఓకే, దిస్ ఇస్ వన్. అనదర్ వన్,
preservation of evidence or information for a long time usage.
okay, this is also one part we can say. And see, can you observe or not? Amma?
Preservation.
Not like that exactly. See, can you observe or not? Many areas, you know, research institutions, we can say, research and documentation officer, library and documentation officer, or we can say that, you know, uh, research assistants come documentation officer, young professionals and documentation officer. That means, you know, documentation means whatever the document which is belongs to the your subject, you are going to document on that. That we can say that somebody said now, just I hear that whatever the data earlier it is there, have you recorded, have you documented? One, if particular document it is there, have you put into the systematic manner for the future generation, are you preserving or not? The third one is whatever the data which we are going to document and put into the, as per the library science procedure, acquisition is nothing but the documentation of the data put into this in a storage, that we can say that preserve, and which whoever the needs that information, the documentation service in future you are going to give. If anybody is going to ask you, you are supposed to provide the service. That we can say the dissemination of information. Documentation ante is nothing but whatever the information which we have documented or not. If documents are there, you put into the systematic manner, in the scientific manner, you preserve it, you supposed to give for the future generation. Is it that we can say the documentation? అర్థమైందా అండి?
Yes, sir.
Library management, in that area also, see, library documentation also, he wrote a book on documentation and facets. It was published in the year of 1963. Library administration, library management, how, you know, the various organs of library management, we can say that, you know, circulation section, we can say that, you know, book reading section, reference section, book stock section, how all sections are going to manage by the budget and financial things and all those things, they may consider the library budget, library management. In that area also he worked a lot for the management of libraries and library legislations. I think you know very well about the library legislation. How many states we have right now library legislation, Amma? ఎన్ని రాష్ట్రాల చట్టాలు ఉన్నాయి మన దగ్గర?
19.
తెలంగాణ లేదు కదా దాంట్లో? మరి మీరు చెప్పిన దాంట్లో 19 లో తెలంగాణ ఉందమ్మా?
కన్సిడర్ చేస్తే 2014 and 15 లో వచ్చింది.
సో 20 దీని మీద క్వశ్చన్ కంపల్సరీ వస్తుంది. ఏ స్టేట్ ఎప్పుడు వచ్చింది? 1948 లో ఏముంది, 1955 లో ఏముంది? 1955 లో ఉందా అమ్మా? భారతదేశంలోనే రెండవ రాష్ట్రం లైబ్రరీ ఎనాక్ట్ చేయబడిన రాష్ట్రం హైదరాబాద్ రాష్ట్రం. దాని తర్వాత ఆంధ్రప్రదేశ్ అయింది. కొన్ని ఇంపార్టెంట్ దట్ యూ హ్యావ్ టు థింక్ ఓవర్ ఆన్ దట్. అండ్ You have to check always any state got Library Act and what is their assess uh, year of enact Library Act and all those things. You're supposed to idea on that. Library buildings and library fittings and furniture and standardizations or professional education and contribution of library research. We can say that here library buildings also they have some an ISO standard buildings are there. What is the ISO standard building? What is the ISO number for the building and furniture? What is the ISO standard for the furniture? And you would like to know professional education, how many institutions are providing BLIC course, how many institutions are providing MLIC course and CLIC course and the diploma in library science. Some university, you believe or not, Bhubaneswar, I think one lady, day before yesterday, she was met me at National Police Academy one interview. She did her graduation in the library science only in Utkal University, I think. It's just like that, many universities are offering BLIC, MLIC degree itself in a library science, and we can say that certificate course in library science, MPhil in library science, and post to PhD in library science and postdoctoral fellowship. There are many how realized education which is applied for the and all fields, and some universities you PGD land for 6 months course. Earlier PGDD course which is conducted by the uh, Usmania University, and now only PGD LAN is offering from the University of Hyderabad, just like that, some distance universities, Annamalai, Alagappa University, just like, some universities are now offering diploma courses and 6 month certificate courses, just like that. We have an idea for that. In future, after completion of your MLIP course, you're supposed to do, you will gain the other knowledge in the area of digital area, or we can say that automation, or we can say that library network, we can say that very specific area you may get the additional knowledge for your existing knowledge for additional things. అయితే ఇక్కడ ద క్యారెక్టరిస్టిక్స్ ఆఫ్ LIS రీసెర్చ్ ఇన్ ఇండియా అంటే ఏమేమి రీసెర్చ్ చేస్తా ఉన్నామంటే మన ఇండియాలో ఎక్కువగా అప్లైడ్ రీసెర్చ్ ఈస్ వెరీ లెస్. ఐ కెన్ సే దట్ ఓన్లీ జనరల్ రీసెర్చ్ వీఆర్ డూయింగ్, ప్యూర్ రీసెర్చ్, or we can say that bibliographical research. Many of the researches which is going on the same way and the teamwork. Earlier in our ancestors, they did teamwork. Many of the people now they are doing only solo research only, not they are doing team research. But anyhow, the research which is going on in India, especially and not, and I said day before yesterday and yesterday regarding the standard of PhD are not up to the mark. Even the producing of the article, the producing of the books, the producing of the research project, the producing of the minor project or major project which is uh, offered by the ICSR, which is offered by the University Grants Commission, because these research area is not up to the mark. సార్ మీరు అప్ టు ది మార్క్ అని అంటున్నారు. అప్ టు ది మార్క్ ఏమైనా మెజర్మెంట్స్ ఉంటాయా? అప్ టు ది మార్క్ ఏమైనా హౌ కెన్ యూ సే దట్ దెర్ ఇస్ ఎనీ స్పెసిఫిక్ లిమిటేషన్ ఈస్ దేర్ అంటే ఎస్, because once you are producing one article, once you are producing one book, once you are producing one particular project, how many people are cited? Your article is going to publish in a Elsevier publication. Your article is going to publish in a Scopus Index article. Your article is going to cited how many research scholars in all over the nation, all over the world. How many research scholars are cited your article? How many people used their references in your article in their standard works? So based on that, we can say these particular institutions, this particular article is good. This particular article is having stuff. This particular article is having caliber. So that's what we can say, that some standard which is based on some standard, some measurements, we can say that this book, this research work is not up to the mark. That's what you can observe or not. When you are writing an article, that article people, that journal people, what they put some standards. article title should be like that, abstract should be 200 words, and the methodology should be like that. A reference should be maintained just like an APA style, not more than 300 words, and you supposed to apply for the chi-square test, and not more than 150 pages, and objectives is like that. See, because they will put some standards for that. Based on that, you supposed to produce article. Then only they will consider, even though sometimes your article may be plagiarized. They will say that not more than 10% of the article, if plagiarized similarities, they won't accept it, they will reject automatically, because they will put some standards based on that they want to going to publish. That we can say that measurement, that we can say that specific standard. Nobody will put like that on a standard. గిట్లా ఉంటే స్టాండర్డ్ గిట్లా ఉంటే స్టాండర్డ్ కాదు అని చెప్పి nobody they will put like that, because their standards we can say that global standards. Scopus is today is a global standard. Elsewhere is a global standard. Springer is a global standard. Just like that, how many library science article, library science works are going to publish in standard publications? Nobody. There is very less. So that's what we can say that in Indian people are producing whatever the library science article, majority of the article, not all article. I'm telling once again, because అందరూ దొంగలు కాదు, అందరూ not standard కాదు, but very less meager number of article are original article. We can say that some standard articles only producing. So in the year of 1940 up to, it was solo research. 1940 to 1950, the research in librarianship, the first we can say that the formal university research program was started in the year of 1948 from the University of the Delhi. It was started very slowly, and after up to 1980, the intention of these particular library science education itself, increase the number of library science school offering LIS education. That means LIS education supposed to increase or expansion of the LIS education all over the nation, and recognition of the doctoral qualification. We can say that for appointment of the promotion of the career development. So that's what PhD for what purpose use means. Some people they say that for the promotion purpose. We can say that CAS, career development advancement scheme, or appointment purpose, or we can say that promotion purpose, or we can say that university grants commission is giving additional benefits for those who are completed their PhD, and the funding bodies like UGC, University Grants Commission, Indian Council of Social Science Research, Center for Scientific Industrial Research. Some institutions are providing the fund for the researchers. I said minor project, major project, just like that those who are having a uh, those who got the JRF, they will give up to 2 years. They will give some 20,000 or 40,000 rupees after 2 years of the, if you are going to do the PhD. After up to 2 years, they will give every month. They will give 20 to 40,000 approximately. And after 2 years, SRF, Senior Research Fellowship, they will give you 60,000 per annum per month. Just like that, these even ICSR fellowships also 20,000 or 40,000. I don't know exactly, 3 years they are going to provide for the researcher from the ICSR fellowships for the social science research scholars. Just like that, many institutions are now providing funding for the doing the research, and some institutions just like Instac, DRTC institutions are also offering LIS education. How many people know DRTC is offering integrated course 2 years after completion of your BLIC? They will conduct one particular examination for the documentation, some training research institutions, or some no documentation course it is there. Not exactly, it's an integrated course 2 years. It is equivalent to the MLISc course, which is offered by the DRTC, Documentation Research Training Center, Bangalore. Even INSDAC also sometimes the some training programs for the LIS professionals and individual researchers and a team of library Library professionals also, some schools are offering training centers, and we can say that research conducted in the LIS department in the award of MPhil and PhD degrees. Just like that, how LIS education was started in India. Before going to enter into the in-depth or the MPhil course, we can say that from the University of the Delhi in the year of 1980, it was started MPhil Master of Philosophy in the year of 1980, from the University of the Delhi. The MPhil program was started. Or later, many universities were offered till 2020. From 2020 onwards, I don't think so. The UGC was banned MPhil course. It makes the students proficient in the methods of techniques in the research and their applications. It gives the students specialized knowledge in the selected area. Just like that, to train the students to doing the further research work in the leading of the PhD degrees. Just like it's nothing but the lesser PhD degree. We can say that it's giving we can say that leading the PhD degree for helping or guiding for the PhD degrees and PhD program. I said, doctor, with the help of, we can say that, driving force of this whole LIS education, the driving force is Dr. S.R. Ranganathan. In the year of 1948, the University of the Delhi was started with the support of the Vice Chancellor Sri Morsem Guar. And the first doctoral fellow was in the year of 1957, Dr. D.B. Krishna Rao. And after 20 years, we can say that 1977, another university is award produced in the PhD from the Punjab University. His name is J.S. Sharma. Today we can say that 38 universities are offering doctoral research. We can say that it is more than 38 because when the book was published at that time, 38, but now it is increased. I think it is increased. You supposed to writing that particular question. You supposed to go through the University Grants Commission. You have to check it out. Around, I think I can say that 70 universities they may offer, because even distance universities are also offering. Private universities also offering. Deemed universities also offering PhD program that you have to go through and you have to finalize it and make significant contribution existing knowledge. uh, Main intention of this LIS to promote the cross fertilization of their ideas, their thoughts through interdisciplinary studies. And we can say that even PhD and DPhil diploma in philosophy, D.Litt degrees have been awarded from the 1950 to 1977. Later, they may be, I think we don't have D.Litt and diploma in philosophy. uh, Approximately 350 theses they mentioned. It was more than 1200 or 1300. You can check it out in University Grants Commission. You will know, or otherwise you can check it out in Shodh Ganga also. You may find how many theses today we can find. It's not exact data you may get, approximate data you may get. And they mentioned in your page number 226, 266, they mentioned each year how many PhD degrees were awarded. They mentioned the statistics from the 1980 to 1997. That means later there are many now universities were produced PhD whole degrees. There are many people like since 20 years there are many people completed their PhD degrees, and many people they got their supervisorship. Many people, many universities, private, government, and deemed universities are offering research in the field of library information science. Definitely, the statistics will improve, and we can find in the authenticated data only you have to write, not like that. Or otherwise, you mentioned approximately. You supposed to mention approximately, not exact data. You can't write because you don't know, because the data should you have to find out in the authenticated website only. You can find. and institutional research. I said just now regarding the DRTC, Documentation Research Training Center, Indian National Scientific Documentation Center, INSDAC. INSDAC యొక్క పేరేంటిదమ్మా ఇప్పుడు కొత్త పేరు? ఇన్స్డాక్ యొక్క కొత్త పేరు ఏంటిదమ్మా?
ఇన్స్టాగ్రామే కదా సార్?
ఇన్స్డాక్ యొక్క కొత్త పేరు మీరు MLIC స్టూడెంట్స్ అమ్మా.
ఇస్ ఇట్ మేటా సార్?
చెప్పాలి.
మేటానా సార్?
ఇంకా
Sir, MIS National
అమ్మా
Institute of Science Information Research.
దేంట్లో చూసి చెప్తున్నారు? మొబైల్లో చూసి చెప్తున్నారా?
Yeah, sir.
ఏముంది?
National Institute of Science Communication and Information Research.
నేషనల్
Institute of Science Communication and Information Resources.
అంటే ఏంటిది అది?
Sir, Instaకి new name వచ్చేసి.
ఆ?
Instaకి new name వచ్చేసి.
ఏమంటారు? ఇన్స్డాక్ న్యూ నేమ్ అది. నిస్కేర్ అమ్మా, నిస్కేర్.
Okay, okay, okay.
ఇప్పుడు నిస్కేర్ పేరు కూడా మారింది. తెలుసా ఎవరికైనా? మీరు కొంచెం జర యూనో
It was
ఇన్స్డాక్ వాజ్
changed to the policy research.
అమ్మా 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 నేషనల్ ఇన్స్టిట్యూట్ ఆఫ్
National Institute of Scientific Council for Policy Research.
very good, very good. It was changed in the year of 2021. Nisker name was changed in the year of 2002. Just like that, these institutions, INSDAC, we can say that Nisker, we can say that INSCPR, just like that, these institutions and DRTC, Document and Research Training Center 1962, these institutions are offering various I said integrated course, and also these institutions are publishing the two particular journals: Journal of Library Science with slant documentation and information studies, and annual seminars which is published by the this DRTC. So from these particular journal, many of the people are produced their article in these particular journal. And INSDAC, Annals of Library Science and Documentation, are producing one particular journal in library information science. These two journals are very important in the field of research and development in the library and information science. Those who published, even DESDAC also, DESDAC bulletins and CDA is a publications. These three publications, Annal of Library Science and Documentation, and the Journal of Library Science with slanted documentation and information studies, and DISDAC bulletin, these particular journals are producing wonderful articles, the articles which is belongs to the research and development, not generalized articles they are producing, not generalized articles they are publishing. Only research and development, research oriented articles are publishing. That means they are directly or indirectly supporting to the research in the field of library and information science. And library associations, just compared with the American Library Association, Special Library Association USA, and Library Association UK, just like that, Indian Library Association or ISLIC, Indian Scientific Document, Indian Association of Special Library Information Center, are also helping to the research in the field of library and information science. ILA is producing ILA newsletter, ILA bulletin. ISLIC producing ISLIC bulletin, ISLIC newsletter. These particular bulletins and newsletters, what it is going to publish means those who did their research in the field of library science, that particular articles are going to publishing these bulletins and newsletters. That means these institutions, these associations are helping to the research in the field of library information science. And the area of the LIS research means scientific management libraries, classification and indexing, and thesaurus constructions. And we can say that library system, computer application, user studies, bibliometrics, library systems, reference and information, library legislation. So I said, library movement, these, 268, they mentioned, and which area, how many theses were produced, they mentioned 293. And they mentioned that there are about 80 library schools in India offering BLIC course. 48 universities are offering MLIC course, and 8 universities offering MPhil program course. Presently, 4 universities are offering just like that. They are given the how many universities are offering Bachelor of Library Science, how many universities are offering Master of Library Science, for how many universities are Master of Philosophy, PhD, how many universities are providing, and all those things they are given the data. But thing is, this statistics is not correct. You have to check it out, or otherwise those who are now presented or wrote the article on the written the article on the LIS education in India, you have to check it out. Recently, 1 year or no, less than 1 year, you can check it out. You may get the exact data you may get from this particular article also. And completed many of the completed doctoral research, research in progress, MLIC dissertation. Some universities are offering even Ambedkar Open Universities also visiting report, library visiting report. You should submit the report intention, what it is means. How many days you visited that particular library after no, you're after completion of the MLIC, your institution management people or your HOD, what they are asking, library report, library visit report, they will ask what is the intention, what you observed, what are the function it is going on in your library, which library you visited, it is national level, state level, what are the method they are using, which classification they are using, which software they are using, how many books it is containing, whether how many sections it's how many people are coming to the library, how many visitors are coming to the library, is there any foreign users are there, is there any rare collection it is there, what is the ambience of that particular library, what is the furniture of the library, what is the infrastructure of the library. That means, you have to, give the clear picture, and it's a glance of that particular library. That is the intention. Just like that, MLIC dissertations also, earlier when we are doing the masters in the library science from the Usman University, at that time we used to visit the 2 months internship program in any recognized institution. At that time, we went to National Star Fashion Technology. We submit a report. We submit a report to the Usman University. So they given some grades, A grade, B grade, C grade, like that. The intention of this particular dissertation itself, you have to know the research style, what you learn from that particular institutions, what are the functions they are doing, what are the housekeeping operations they are doing, what is the user pattern, what is the how they are managing the library circulation system, and all those things we can observe it, we can put into the one particular book form. It's nothing like a MLIC dissertation. And professional organization, their role, and DECIDOC, DRTC, ISLIC, ILA Bulletin, Herald of Library Science, Library Herald, Library Science with slant documentation, Journal of Information Studies, Journal of Library Information Delhi, International Information Communication, Annals of Library Science. These are the journals which is producing research articles, or in original articles, or we can say that academic papers, or we can say that review articles. What it is means, those who did their research, those who completed their research, that particular research is producing in the form of articles of these particular journals. So automatically, directly or indirectly, they're supporting to the research of these particular library science journals. and which area really require more research in the field of library science. You may studies like user studies, subject indexing, classification and cataloging, information systems and service, and management of libraries, and automation of the libraries, and library information science education and research, interdisciplinary studies in library information science, library buildings and equipment. I think these all, as per the P.P. Mangla in the year of when it was book published. Now, the trend was changed. The trend was, now it is what it is going on. You can study the bibliometric studies. You can impact of the IT, information technology, library website, library portal, library social media, and there are plenty of new things happen. Whenever the IT impact on the library and information science, there are plenty of sub discipline subject was on the screen. You may find user satisfaction, like professional satisfaction, and there are many things, distance education learners, and research scholars, how you are serving, postgraduate students, how you are serving, and we can say faculty members, how you are serving, research scholars, how you are serving, what are the and the new methods, what are the innovative technology you are going to implement and adapt it and implement it. There are many things which is available in the present day society. How you are going to do the research in the field of library information science? And yes, I said, they mentioned University Grants Commission, how is funding means. I said, those who are completed, those who got the JRF, or those who got the CSR fellowship, they mentioned 8,000 and 9,000. It is not correct. Right now 20 to 40,000 for the JRF scholars, CSR scholars, first 2 years. Later 40,000, 40 to 60,000 for the CSR, senior research fellowship for the JRF, then CSR people. But those who are doing research people only, they may get. If even though you will get the JRF, you are not going to do the research PhD, the money may not come to you. The money you may not we can't access the money without doing the research. It is not possible as per the rules and regulation of the UGC and CSIR, just like that. And Indian Council of Social Science Research, and the Indian Council of Social Science Research are also providing on the basis of research proposal for offer 3 years award for the teachers, maximum 7,500. This is also, it's very less. Now it was 27,000 or 30,000 it is there. Research grant sanction for the individual scholars and team of scholars, and sometimes 3 to 5 years they'll give 1 lakh rupee for the just like that, 10,000 rupees per annum, just like that, assistance. Either this is for the clerical assistant, this is for the stationary assistant, this is for the traveling allowance, or whatever it may be, you may consider. For they will give some assistance, financial assistance for the research and development in the field of library information science. And NISAC, it will also encourage the individuals and the team research projects for the relevance of the scientific information. It provides the assistance to the research and development for producing the quality of research. We can say that enlightenment of the research in the field of library and information science in computer application, with application of the computer application and information handling management, information technology, scientific and technical translation. This area they are going to seriously concentrating on that, and some financial assistance from the other institutions like TERI, Tata Educational Research Institutions, and Baba Atomic Research Institutions, and Raja Ram Mohan Rai Library Foundation are also is like to increase the support to the improvement of the library and information science research in India. And still, why the research is going to slow? Why we are not? I said, already we spoke to you. Still, we are behind the of developed countries. Means there are very many lackness. It is there. Still, we are doing traditional methods of teaching, and lack of research orientation skills we have. and a lack of research experience by the faculty and the research scholars or librarians, we can say that options of the knowledge and inadequate of strength, or we can say that faculty, or we can say that inadequate of faculty members or supervisors in the various institutions, and non-availability of many qualified research supervisors, and the earlier intake inefficient, indifferent, just like a various reason, inadequate financial support, and a very only three institutions like UGC and the ICSR, our institutions are offering financial support for the library and information science research. There are they supposed to give RRLF at the Q and Terry and Bob Atomic Research, and they are giving very less money. I think they are not sufficient. It is supposed to improve, or we can say that increase the money, increase the funding for the researcher or young researcher to encouraging the young researcher to innovate. We can say that produce the quality of the research in the field of library science, or we can say that lack of good library facilities and infrastructure facilities and incentives is required and traveling allowances. There are many lacunas. It is there. Just I said, Ambedkar Open University, it is there, but still there is no supervisors. What's happened? And Usmania, it is there. Only one supervisor are there. What about Kakati University? Still, it is there is no PhD program. There are many lacunas. It is there. Still, we have to improve, and the suggestions made by the many people to how to improve the research in the field of library science, especially in India, with the help of the CSIR, ICR, ICMR, ICSR, NCRT, national bodies. These there is a specific national research policy is required. There is a specific research policy. They're supposed to prepare a plan or design and coordinate with the research activities with the sister concern universities or sister concern bodies, we can say, that are coordinating bodies, and even library and information science clearing houses to be established in India, and those who are doing the postgrad PhD degrees in the field of library science, not only education institution. Sometimes we can say that earlier we said DRTC and Insta, just like that. Many research institutions are they supposed to start a PhD program in the field of library science, because there are there is a chance to start a PhD program in the field of library science. But I don't know what happened, because due to some supervisorship or due to some financial support, due to some infrastructure, they are not interested to start a PhD program in the field of library. It is mandatory, because you take example of the NGRI, you take example of the many DRTCs, research centers are it is there, CSR labs, many CSR labs it is there, and National Staff Nutrition, Atomic Research Institute, NASA. There are many institutions, defense research institutions. Why don't you start a PhD program in the field of library science? Because there are many librarians and scientists are there. Why don't you start it? It is one suggestion which is made by senior people and contribute towards the extension of the improvement of the library research and orientation, or we can say that educate the uh, research for the members of ILA, IATLIS, and ISLIC people. And we can say that information package, standard searches, and topics interest relating to the library and library services. It's and also we have to know the PhD, MPhil, MLIC level should be issued in the annual completed researches. I said already, those who are complete their PhD degrees, their names, their list will be published in the university news. We can say that an Association of Indian Universities like that, all over India, just like that, those who are completed their MPhil, their masters and library science also, it is supposed to published. There is one particular journal it is required for the LIS research or LIS progress. We can say that research progress. We can say that specific journal is required for the research in that area. Of course, there are many. Just we discussed about the library bulletins, DRTC bulletins, Instac bulletin, Instac newsletter. It is there. DRTC newsletter. It is there, and there are many library science with the slanted documentation, documentation of information science. There are many journals. It is there. Still, I know that because these journals are producing quality of the research papers, quality of the research work from these particular journals. They are supporting, but still there is a research journal is required. Those who are published, those who are complete their research, and all researchers name should be published in that particular journal. So it is the just a brief information about the LIS research in India. What is the role of SR Ranganathan? We can say that what is the role of Shiaji Rao Gaikwad too in the Baroda state? How their education, what is their voluminous support. We can say that what is his contribution, how he invite the Alan Borden and Dickinson for the Punjab University. This is for the Baroda University. Just like that, from the starts of that, MLIC course start from the where it is, MPhil course where it is, from the Delhi University, 1948 PhD program, and 19 after 20 years we can say that 1957 or 1948, Sharma is the second person. Just like that, how many universities are offering PhD programs, how many universities are offering MPhil program, how many universities are offering bachelor and master of library science, diploma courses and PG CLIC courses that we have to write, and who are the funders helping to the research means just like CSIR, UGC, NISAT, because NISAT in the form of not funding, actually they are producing one journal. In that journal, the research articles are publishing, and there are many CSR funds, UGC and CSIR and other institutions like that, Terry, we can say that Bob Atomic Research Institutions, how they are helping to the finance assistance to the researcher for the producing of the quality of the research work. There are, many things are there. Still, it is mandatory to improve the financial support for the researchers. Still, it is mandatory improve the financial assistance from the various institutions. And UGC also is whatever the money is giving, it is not sufficient for the researcher. It is mandatory to improve the increase the amount of that, and simultaneously the area of the research. Many of the people, the research we discussed in the traditional way only, not like that. We supposed to do the research in the modern era, modern styles, modern methods, modern techniques. We adopt it and we have to apply for the research and development in the field of library science. So finally, what is my intention? Intention is there, library science education research. It is not a new for all, but of course we it is our for new, because since 1920 onwards the LIS research it is going on, and the traditional way of research, or team of research, solo research, which is which was moved but not that much effective. From 1970 onwards the research is going on very good, but still the research is not as per the standards of the international level, a global level, but still there is a lacuna. We supposed to improve our skills. We can say that the quality of the research it is mandatory. When we are competing with the global standards, it is not possible as we have knowledge to improve our knowledge and the research skills, the techniques, the applying of the research area in the field of library and information science. ఇంకా ఏమైనా క్వశ్చన్స్ ఉంటే యూ మే పోజ్ ద క్వశ్చన్. అడగండి అమ్మా ఏమైనా క్వశ్చన్స్ ఉంటే. అయితే
సార్
ఎవరికి ఏం అర్థం కాలేదు.
సార్ రీసెర్చ్ మెథడాలజీ అంటే ఒక లైబ్రరీ సైన్స్ కి సంబంధించిన రీసెర్చ్ టాపిక్ కాదు సార్. సార్ సార్
చెప్పండి చెప్పండి
లైబ్రరీ లైబ్రరీ
చెప్పండి
సైన్స్
చెప్పండి.
సంబంధించిన రీసెర్చ్ సార్ అది రీసెర్చ్ మెథడాలజీ అని ఉంటాయి కదా, లైబ్రరీ సైన్స్ కి సంబంధించిన డీటెయిల్డ్ రీసెర్చ్ సంబంధించిందా సార్ అది?
కాదు అమ్మా, రీసెర్చ్ మెథడాలజీ ఈజ్ అప్లికేషన్ ఫర్ ది ఆల్ డిసిప్లిన్స్, ఆల్ సబ్జెక్ట్స్. అన్ని సబ్జెక్టులకు రీసెర్చ్ మెథడాలజీ ఉంటుంది. కాకపోతే ఏంటంటే ద మెథడ్ వేర్ వీఆర్ అప్లయింగ్, ద మెథడ్ వేర్ ఇట్ ఈస్ సూటబుల్ ఫర్ యువర్ సబ్జెక్ట్. లైబ్రరీ సైన్స్ రీసెర్చ్ చేసినా గట్లే ఉంటది, సైన్స్ రీసెర్చ్ చేసినా గట్లే ఉంటది, సోషల్ సైన్స్ రీసెర్చ్ చేసినా గట్లే ఉంటది. కాకపోతే ఏంటంటే దాంట్లో